Hey, good afternoon. It's Pete from figlife.com, and today I'm going to look at a fig called Roig Manyo. Okay, so this is Roig Manyo. It's my first year with this tree. I grew this out as a cutting over the winter, and it's not, some of the trees that I'm growing out from a cutting, I'll go back to this one here, have really just exploded in growth, and I've gotten a tremendous amount of growth off of them. This is not one of those. I have not gotten a tremendous amount of growth out of it, but what I am getting is a lot of good fruit. I mean, look at all this fruit here. A lot of good fruit production. So I can't complain about that. And it's looking really healthy. I mean, this is looking to be a really healthy tree. There doesn't appear to be anything wrong with it or anything. It's just some trees put a little more energy into the fruit, and some put a little more into the wood growth, I suppose. And this one's putting a little more into the fruit. So that's the growth habit of this tree, for me at least. Again, first year with this tree, and excited to try this variety. I just picked what appears to be a ripe fig just a minute ago. I've had a couple figs ripen on this tree previously, well, sort of ripen, but they didn't ripen well enough to be able to eat them. So let me go take a look at the fruit that I just picked. All right, so here's the fig. It's my first year trying this fig. Actually, my first time trying this fig. I got maybe a fig or two before this, but neither one was really ripened to a state where it was edible. So this is the first one that looks really good, and I think this is probably ripe, but of course I won't know for sure until I cut it open and try it. A lot of times you'll see this fig have a purple color to it, and I'm starting to get a little purple in here, but it's mostly brown for me. I've also seen some photos of it with kind of a brown color with maybe a little bit of like the darker shades on the ribs of the fig. So I think this is consistent with other photos that I've seen of it, but there wasn't a lot out there on this fig. So this is originally came from the collection of Pons. Of course, he has just a ton of different varieties, but this is one of his figs as part of his collection, and it's a Spanish fig, I believe, and now it's here in my hand. So let me go ahead and cut this open and see what we're looking at on the inside of this fig. All right, so here it is. Cut it open, and I'm hopeful that this is going to taste really good because it looks pretty good. It looks like it is well ripened. It had kind of a thick skin, not thick, that's not the right word, a little bit of a tough skin when I cut it open. Yeah, I wouldn't say thick. It actually looks to be kind of on the thin side, but definitely a little bit tough when I cut the skin open. So I'm not sure if that'll be, if that'll make it a little bit more chewy or not, but find out here in a second. But the inside has a little bit of a red hue to it, not a deep red color. Supposedly this is a sweet fig with a lighter berry flavor, so find out here in a second when I try this. All right, this is my first time trying this fig, Roig Manyo. Here it goes. That's good. That's really good. And I was right about the skin. It's got a chewy, candied sort of flavor, like it's like a chewy candy, because the fig itself is really, really sweet. In fact, I would compare this fig most closely to LSU Tiger, just based on that first taste. It's a really sweet fig with a little bit of berry. The difference maybe, at least, and again, this is the first time trying this fig, but for this first fig at least, the difference for me was that the skin on this fig is a little tougher, not tougher, it's more chewy. And so it gives it like more of a chewy, candy sort of texture to it when you're eating it. LSU Tiger sort of also has that, but not to as great of an extent as I'm getting that from this Roig Manyo. But that was a really, really good fig. You know, if I'm comparing it to LSU Tiger, because LSU Tiger is a really good fig. So this also is a really good fig. Let me eat the other half of this. Yeah, really good. And the skin is good too. Again, she's that real chewy candy sort of feel to the skin. So not unpleasant at all. I mean, sometimes you get the tougher skin and you think it's going to be unpleasant, but that wasn't unpleasant at all. So that was a really, really good taste for a first fig off a first-year tree. Really pretty remarkable, actually. So, you know, a lot of times these Pons figs are really good. Otherwise, you know, why would he have them in his collection if they weren't good? And this sort of follows that rule. I mean, it's just a really good fig, and kind of surprised I haven't heard more about that. I think it's been around for a little while, so maybe I just missed the memo on that one. I don't know, but that was really good. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit subscribe. Check out my website, www.figlife.com. Thanks.